I'd like to tell you that grief is simple and that the few pointers and observations that I've passed on to you are all you need to know, whether you're grieving or whether you're helping someone that you know and care about who's going through grief. But unfortunately, it's much more complicated than that. Each individual responds to grief differently, and each grief situation brings about different feelings and emotions and reactions depending on the depth of the loss, depending on the connection to the person who's grieving. So it all gets a bit confusing and hard to deal with. But if you remember some of the things that I've pointed out, and let me recap and add a couple more. If you're dealing with someone who's grieving, be patient. This takes an extended period of time. The social expectation that grief is over and done with in a few days is ridiculous and only causes those people who are grieving to be harmed because they don't really get a chance to grieve, and it causes them to feel anger and disappointment and alienation from those around them. Try not to judge the things that they say. They may very well provide you with a number of their feelings that you're going to have a hard time hearing and dealing with. Try to stay silent. Try not to tell them that their feelings are good or bad or right or wrong, or that they should or shouldn't feel the way they do. That their feelings must be legitimized. And you can legitimize a person's feelings just by simply staying quiet and staying with them. Don't talk them in or out of things. Don't tell them they're right or wrong. Don't stifle what they're going through. Try to remember that feelings have no moral value. They simply are. They need to be expressed and expelled. And when the person who's grieving does that, they'll feel much better. If you tell them that their feelings are inappropriate or incorrect, they'll keep their mouth shut. They'll keep the feelings to themselves. And in the end, all that will do is damage the process, stifle it, and cause the person who's grieving to be unable to say and do what they really need to in order to get through their painful situation. Don't be surprised if they say things over and over and over again, and it is in fact in the telling and retelling of the story or the feelings that the person who's grieving finds a way to get through their pain and finds a way to begin to live life again anew. There is a rebuilding process. People do generally get on with life. Some people are able to get on with life fairly quickly and productively. Other people are forever injured or damaged by the loss, and that depends on its depth and the meaning and the significance of the person who has died. Remember that it's easy to talk about grief when we talk about someone dying, but that grief is something that we really must go through anytime there's been a significant loss. I know I'm repeating myself, but let me say it again. It doesn't matter if it's retirement or losing your job through layoff or being dismissed. It doesn't matter if it's the end of a love relationship like separation or divorce, children leaving home, aging. There's one I don't think I have spoken of. As you age, you lose certain abilities, and the perception that you have of yourself changes, and that also requires that you begin to say, gee, what have I lost? What do I have today? What did I have yesterday that's now gone? And how do I address that, cope with it, and live accordingly? And I think most of all, if you are with someone who's grieving, or you know someone who's really hurting because of a loss, try to be as kind to them as you possibly can. One day, you too will sit in that chair, and chances are what you'll need more than anything else is for the people who are helping you to be as patient, as kind, as gentle, and as understanding with you as they possibly can be.